I've been trying out a few different formation experiments in FIFA 17 career mode recently, and the results seem to suggest that the game just takes an average rating for your defence, your midfield and your attack, regardless of how many players you've got playing in each area or whereabouts they're situated on the pitch. And this formation could show just how broken that method truly is. It looks like a regular 4-4-2, but Lewandowski and Müller are both set to play as attacking midfielders, so the game will probably recognise that we've got a 4-6-0 formation, and because of the lack of attackers, it will penalise us and we'll probably struggle in the league. Both Lewandowski and Müller are instructed to stay forward. Will that make any difference whatsoever in simulated matches though? Probably not. As we're rocking a 4-6-0, or as the game will think we're rocking a 4-6-0 anyway. As I say, it's basically a 4-4-2, but because of the way that the simulation system works in this game, or doesn't work I should say, we'll probably struggle in the Bundesliga, with the exact same squad that won the title in reality. Anyway though, let's give it a shot, and let's see what happens. Also, if you are new to the channel and want to see more FIFA 17 experiment videos, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, leave it a like as well. Let's get into things then, and let's see how this formation works out for us. Not the best start in the world, is it? And it's another 2-0 defeat. At least we picked up a win in the Champions League though. It's about time we picked up a positive result. Back to losing ways in the Bundesliga though. This is just getting stupid. Finally though, we picked up some sort of positive result. 1 point from 4 games, purely because we got our strikers set as attacking midfielders. The lack of intelligence written into this game seriously scares me. It's so broken. And now we've suffered another 2-0 defeat. What a surprise. And now we can't even beat Bruges. Arjen Robben's picked up an injury now, so I've had to bring in Douglas Costa instead. Not that it really matters. We're probably just going to lose again, even though it's a pretty regular formation. The game doesn't recognise it as such. And there you go, we've lost 2-0 again. And it's a 3-0 defeat this time. At least it's a bit different, I suppose. And only a 1-0 defeat in the Champions League. And now a 1-0 defeat in the Bundesliga to go with it. Followed by a 2-0 defeat to the exact same team in the DFB Pokal. This has not been a good week. And now we've lost 2-0 to Augsburg. We've drawn this one in the Champions League though, so that's not the worst result in the world. Although it does mean that they're ahead of us in the group, so that's a bit disappointing. Not as disappointing as our league form though. 1 goal in 9 games. That is embarrassing. And now we've lost yet another game 2-0. Awesome. We always seem to get offered the Spain job though. No matter how badly we do in these formation experiments, international teams always want us. And it just boggles my mind to be honest. And I've just brought Arjen Robben into the starting 11. He just came back from injury. And now the game has crashed whilst in the process of saving it. Sort your game out, EA. This is so frustrating. Why does it always make you reconfirm your settings as well when it crashes? Yes, I still want to play on the same settings. Why would I not? And the results really aren't getting any better. We just keep losing 2-0. Not in that one though, we've lost 6-0 to PSV. Seriously, what is going on with this game? This is a title winning Bayern side. Yes, we're playing 2 attacking midfielders rather than strikers. Does it really matter though? It shouldn't, and now we've lost 1-0 to Leverkusen. At least international teams are still interested in us though. We're wanted by France and Brazil, and we finally picked up another point. It's taken a while, but we've got there in the end. I was beginning to think that we'd finish the season with 1 point. Well, get sacked with 1 point anyway. I doubt we'll finish the season. We've been knocked out of the Champions League though, and that might be where we get sacked. Nope, we're bottom of the table and we've been knocked out of both the Domestic Cup and the Champions League, but they still want us. For now, maybe not anymore though. Yep, we've been sacked, and I can't really say that I'm surprised. We didn't even make it to Christmas. At least Freiburg will take us anyway. So, despite the fact that that formation wasn't all that different to a regular 4-4-2, we only scored 2 goals in 14 games, and we got sacked with 2 points. That is absolutely shocking. Let's fast forward to the end of the season though, and let's see where they end up. Bottom, that's where they finished up. They did get 11 points from the final 20 games, but it's still not exactly great, is it? 14 goals in 34 games. Playing with attacking midfielders didn't really work out for them. They didn't learn their lessons after I left, and they got relegated. Hoffenheim won the title, Mönchengladbach came second, Cologne came third, and Schalke finished up in 4th position. And I've just noticed that Dortmund came in 6th. I would have expected a bit more from them to be honest, and maybe a bit less from Wolfsburg. they're in the relegation playoff in reality. In this career mode save though, they came in 8th, that's pretty respectable. Not so respectable from Red Bull Leipzig though. Not quite the second position finish that they had in reality. Anyway though, as always with these formation experiments, let's hop into a bit of gameplay and let's test this formation out. On paper, it looks like a pretty regular 4-4-2. In practice though, the team picked up 13 points from 34 games playing this way, so there seems to be something fundamentally wrong here. The attacking midfielders are set to stay forward, so it shouldn't be too much different to playing a regular 4-4-2. As I say though, in those simulated matches, it really didn't work out for the team, so yeah, let's give it a go, and let's see how we do with this formation. Arjen Robben's on the ball now then, plays that one over to Vidal. What on earth was that? To be honest, I'm beginning to understand why this formation didn't work. Even though Lewandowski and Müller are told to stay forwards, they just don't. They're not listening to the instructions, and most of the time, we got no players forward whatsoever. It's a bit of a problem, to be honest. Here comes Ribery now then, on the attack. He's going to go for goal here, and that is not a bad strike. Good stop by the keeper. Right then, let's play this one short. Ribery's on the ball. What can he do here? Takes on his man. He's going to cross that one over into a dangerous area. In fact, it wasn't a dangerous area. It was into the keeper's arms. And Lewandowski was offside anyway. Boateng's on it now then, plays that forward to Thomas Müller. He's waiting for support. Philipp Lahm is working his way down the wing, turns that inside, gets around his man. Nice bit of play there from Philipp Lahm. Plays that across, and that should have been a goal. Vidal's on the attack now then, working his way down the wing. What can he do here? He's going to turn this back, looking for support, still working his way forward. I'm just going to go for the finesse shot. And what a strike, he's hit the bar, unlucky mate. Ribery's working his way forward now then, running it down the left wing, turns that inside, gonna move that forward to Alaba. He tried to play it on, but he couldn't quite get his pass away. Müller's on it again now then, plays that forward. He was basically playing as a CDM then. I don't know why, and what was that challenge? That was such a boring first half. I'm making a few changes though, and hopefully we'll play a bit better in the second. Arjen Robben's on the attack now then, plays that one forward to Lewandowski. Like I said before, they are dropping so deep. They're told to stay forward, but they just don't listen. Kingsley Coman gets barged off the ball. They're going to play that back to the keeper. Bit dodgy, and we nearly got a challenge in. Coman's on it now then, plays that one across to Lewandowski. He waits for support, moves it on to Vidal. He turns that back, gets past his man. Come on lads, let's get a goal here. Vidal moves that one out wide to Coman. He's going to play that one across. Nice ball back to Vidal. Gets tackled though, drops for Kimmich. He goes for goal. Good stop by the keeper. Here comes Arjen Robben now then, turns that back. Crosses it over into a dangerous area. Unlucky, mate. Coman's on the ball now then. He's going to turn that inside. Gets past his man. What can he do here? He spots the run of Arjen Robben. He's going to go it alone, though. And that was the wrong decision. Lewandowski's back on the ball now then. Plays that one forward. Can we get a goal here late on? Müller goes through and he smashes that into the corner of the net. We got very lucky there. But we've finally broken through. We found the back of the net and we've made it 1-0. Seriously though, let's take another look at that one. How sloppy was that? I'm not entirely sure how Thomas Müller worked his way through, but he did. He finds the corner of the net, and we finally scored a goal. Robben's on the ball again now then, plays that one to Coman. He moves it out wide to Alaba. Can we get a second goal here? Alaba's working his way through, and we're going to score that one. It's a tap in for Coman, and we've doubled the lead. And that's the final whistle. We've won the game 2-0. But to be honest, it was genuinely quite difficult to play the game that way. Müller and Lewandowski were dropping so deep, and even though I set them to stay forwards, they just didn't listen. So, yeah, playing with no attackers whatsoever didn't really work in simulated matches, and it wasn't too easy to play that way in a proper game either. When I did the none at the back experiment, I genuinely really enjoyed playing the game that way. It was a lot of fun. With no attackers, however, that was a very different experience. The game was frustrating. We did win it 2-0, but it wasn't easy. I didn't massively enjoy it, and I'll probably never ever play that way again. So, yeah, if you were thinking of trying this formation out for yourself, I would recommend not doing that, to be honest. Don't put yourself through this. I will leave a link in the description to the other formation videos that I've tried out though, and as I said before, playing with none at the back, I genuinely quite enjoyed. I've also played with one at the back, also quite fun to play that way. No players in the attack though is just horrific. Anyway though, thanks for watching the video, I hope you've enjoyed it, leave it a like if you have done, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will catch you again next time.